MonitorTans, a podcast for PC gamers.
Let me start off by talking about getting it. There were several ways you can get it.
Yeah, you had a little adventure with this.
Yeah, it was on Tuesday, which is a work night for me.
If you listened to last episode, Jesse was saying he was planning on being very ill that evening.
Yeah, and I was sick. I called in sick to work to get my night off to go get my game.
Yeah.
And I decided I was going to download the thing, because you could download it ahead of time.
Right.
And just punch the code in. But I just started it downloading, and then I was going to head out at midnight to one of the stores on the list, because there were lists on the Blizzard website of stores that were having a midnight launch of it. So I said, let me look on here and see what's close.
Which I was kind of surprised that I think it was Best Buy, Wal-Mart, and GameStop. Weren't those the three
but GameStop,
retailers?
Yeah, GameStop you had to have a pre-order.
Okay.
So really, if you didn't have a pre-order, it was either Best Buy or Walmart where you were only two midnight launch options.
Really shocked that for Best Buy, because there's Best Buys everywhere.
Yeah.
Especially, we live in Houston, so there's one, it seems like, every few miles. And I was kind of shocked that there were very few Best Buys in Houston that were doing the midnight release.
Yeah, I called the one that was closest to us, and they said they weren't doing it. So I said, well, let me look on the list. I looked on the list, and the only ones that were doing it, there were a couple on the west side of town, which is farthest from us.
Right.
And there was one downtown. So I said, let me go to Walmart then, because I looked on the list, and the Walmart right by our house was doing the midnight launch.
There you go.
So I said, great. I'll go down there and grab it. And then there was another Walmart just a few miles down the road that was also doing it. So I said, great, I've got a backup plan in case the first one's sold out.
Because when an important game comes out, we have to have backup plans.
Yeah.
My plan was to go to sleep and let you go buy my copy.
Yeah. So the loving husband I am, I decided I would pick up a game for both of us.
That was very nice.
So I took off. I let the thing start downloading to start with. And then I said, I'll take off and go grab it, and if it's not done downloading when I get back, I won't have to do the install off the DVD. I'll just punch the code in, that kind of thing. So I get to the first Walmart, and it's like 20 minutes to midnight, 15 minutes to midnight or so. So I wait a few minutes and go in, and I get back to the electronics section.
Well,
and
you said when you first walked in, you saw a sign, right?
Yeah, right when you walk into Walmart, there's a metal detector-like thing that they use for the little inventory control tags where they can think someone's walking out with something, it'll beep. They put little cardboard things around them.
Little poster kind of things.
So when a movie's coming out or whatever. Well, they did it for Starcraft, and it said 12:01 launch.
Yeah.
Starcraft 2 games available at 12:01.
Right on.
Yeah, on the day I went. So I was like, man, right on. This is the right Walmart. They got the thing out front. So I go back to the electronics section, and there's nobody there. And I was like, that's weird.
Yeah. I
figured there would be at least a few people. And then another guy wanders up, and we're both like giving weird looks around the electronics section. And there's one girl doing like stocking or whatever.
Yeah.
And she's a young teenage girl. So I stopped and I said, do you have StarCraft 2? It's supposed to be available at midnight. And she looks at me with this weird look in her eye. And she's like, what'd you say it was again? I said,
oh no,
StarCraft 2. And she said, is that a movie?
Oh no.
And I said, no, it's a video game that comes out tonight.
Is it a movie? Oh,
and
blasphemy.
This other guy, apparently, I looked at him and he had this like weird look of fear in his
like
eyes.
Panic.
Like, oh my God, we're not going to get it or something. And another guy milled up at the time too. So there were three of us there waiting. And she says,
three nerds wanting their StarCraft.
Yeah. She said, hang on, let me go find my manager. So
well, that's a good sign.
Yeah, well, at least she's going to ask for direction.
Instead of just being like, no, we don't have it.
Yeah.
Which is usually, like, this is why I don't work at Walmart, because they just either look at you with a stupid look on their face, like, you're a moron for even asking, or they're just like, no.
Well, this girl did go ask her manager or find them or whatever.
Very cool.
So she was nice, but she had no clue what we were talking about. So we were standing there all playing on our iPhones or whatever, and
Nerds.
I was talking a little bit to them, and they are talking about StarCraft. One guy said he just got it.
Yeah.
The first StarCraft.
Oh,
he
wow.
just found it in his room or something, that someone had bought the battle chest.
Yeah,
and
right.
had played through the whole thing.
Awesome.
And it just so happened part 2 was coming out, so he was getting it.
Yeah.
Another guy was an old school StarCraft player too and wanted to play it.
Man, those are so our peeps.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, I told them I got into beta early and played multiplayer some, and they were asking me about it, and we passed the time. It was like 10 minutes for the girl to go consult with her authorities.
Right.
And she got back and she said, "We're not going to have it until 7 when they stock in the morning."
What?
And I just immediately turned on my heels and left. And I told the other guys, I was like, the other Walmart up the road's doing it too. And
but they have a sign.
I know it wasn't worth arguing with her because nothing was going to change.
You were like Plan B.
She didn't know what even the game was, so there was no point in it. So I took off. I immediately got left to get to the car because I knew my minutes were fading. If there was a line at one of these Walmarts, they probably wouldn't have too many of them, and they would be empty by the time I got there. So I said, I'm going to go. Oh, and the girl told me, she said, "Well, last time this happened with the iPhone 4, we had a whole bunch of people waiting, and they only sent us one." So can
you imagine?
We all three of us like looked at each other with the look of fear in our eyes again, like who's gonna get the one, you know?
Yeah, y'all are gonna have to have like some like nerd showdown to get it.
Yeah, and we have a Magic the Gathering duel off to see who gets our game. So we took off, and then I immediately like almost sprinted out of there. I was like power walking.
You're like peeling out of the parking lot.
I looked like one of those mall walkers when I was leaving. I was like walking so fast with like look of determination in my eyes. Well, I got to the car. I took off up the road to the Walmart. I pull in. One of the other guys that was following, apparently was following me. And he pulls in the parking spot right next to me. Wow. And then we go in, and then the other guy mills in slowly. Yeah. As we walk in, I'm looking, and there's one of these signs again at the start. It's like Starcraft 2, 1201.
Right.
And I said, I pointed at it as we walked in, and the guy kind of was behind me, kind of rolled his eyes. So we walked back to the back, and there was a lady there who was doing the stocking again, same sort of thing. And man, this is ghetto Walmart. This is like scary Walmart.
This is that one on I-10.
Yeah, it's
that's not nice.
Makes you reach for your piece when you're in there because you're a little nervous.
What is your piece? Your iPhone?
Yeah, I'll text you if you
with like your gun app on it. I'll get you with my gun app.
I'll take a photo of you. Don't mess with me. So I'm standing back there, and the lady who's stocking, I asked her. I say, StarCraft 2 was supposed to come out tonight at 12:01. I saw the sign up front. Do you guys have it here available?
Yeah.
And she looks at me. She says, What do you say it was again? I said, oh my God, again. StarCraft 2. It's she said, it's what is it? I said, it's a game, a computer game, a PC game. She said, oh, okay. She barely spoke English. Star Trek 2. And she started to take off, and I said, no, StarCraft 2. Okay. Star Trek 2. And I corrected her again, and she went to go look. She was really nice, but she, again, had no clue what we were looking for.
How can these stores promo this and have such a colossal fail?
I have no idea.
I mean, maybe one. I can see one jacking it up. But two?
Well, how can you have these signs in the front of your store and the person in the electronics section not know?
Yeah, no idea.
And then they go ask the manager and the manager not know?
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
All right, well, anyway, so we're waiting and we're just standing around, and she comes back eventually, and it was like a surreal Walmart moment for me. We're standing in the electronics section. And she walks up to me and she says, I can't find it.
I can't find it?
Yeah. She can't find, I guess, the box it's in or wherever. And my eyes like focused behind her at the TV that was in the electronics section, and there was a giant monster truck like running over to stuff on the TV. And then someone walked between between my field of vision between her and the television, and it was like this 300-pound woman pushing a buggy that had like 5 kids in it.
At midnight.
It's like, yeah, like she was shopping for children or something in there. Her buggy was just piled full of kids. And I thought to myself, why in the world did I go to Walmart to pick up a video game?